one of those players in the AFL where you've got to say both names together. We're underway. And the first possession goes to Edwards. Plenty of players getting in quickly.
Well done, move it.
And we're not going to go far. We have a secondary bounce. Umpires for today, Chamberlain, Camerlins and Wen. Here's Paul Pleasure, who's so good in close for Adelaide. His clearance work is terrific. Gave it to Edwards, over to Symes. Adelaide trying to go forward for the first time. Thompson to Goodwin. Smother affected, but Adelaide still have possession. Goodwin hitting in hope almost. McLeod tackled well. Stevens gave it to Judd because he knew he'd break away. Judd onto the chest of Favola and he spills it. It's an anticlimactic start for the big forward. Betts off the ground. He can do anything. Eddie Betts opens the scoring. Well, can you believe it, Tony Shaw? You think when Brendan Favola drops a chest mark, it's going to bounce out pretty quickly. But so many times we see Eddie Betts make something out of nothing.
Well, he's a dangerous player, Eddie Betts. He loves to kick a goal. He can do it from all angles. And, gee, you don't see Fev dropping marks like that. But that, fortuitous, but you play smart. And if he went down to grab that, he would have been tackled anyway, Matty. So, great start to the Blues. Judd involved already.
Didn't score last week, Eddie Betts, so he'd be very keen to pick up 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 goals this afternoon. Carlton the first goal and McLeod this clearance for Adelaide. In the Thompson direction. Gibbs was there. Goodwin. Clever give on the out. Paul Pleasure with vision. Just out in front of Thompson, too far for him. Gibbs goes back, gets some support in weight. Around the corner, Simpson drops what he should have taken. Adelaide could make him pay. Symes. Simpson came back for a second effort and is rewarded. It's coming back. There's the tackle. Now this is Cade Simpson.
15. Play on, Bryce. Play on.
The umpire telling Bryce Gibbs to move it on.
Me. On the kick. You.
Bentic, the late inclusion.
Stay clear of the mark. Stay well clear
This is
of the mark.
Murphy.
Adelaide do this very well. They always have a man. Very rarely allow just a short pass.
One thing Carlton have been very good at, though, Liam, so far this season is, until they turn it over, is being efficient with foot skills. So it won't hurt them that much. Edwards drives it forward, just straight back to Gibbs. Another mark dropped by a Carlton player. Another second effort required.
Well, they half, as they just did then, they half dare to kick it short, Adelaide.
Murphy wider to Bentic again. Good vision. Spotted Russell standing on his own. Again, Murphy. Favola, this way over his head this time. Adelaide with numbers down back. Doughty, the handball wider. Griffin, indecisive. McLeod ducks under the tackle from Judd. Shirley's caught. Good pressure again by Carlton. Murphy on the turnover. That's 2 for the Blues.
Well, sensational, just sensational pressure from the Carlton side. Inside 50, if you can get turnovers there, and gee, a couple of the Crows players have been very slow of trying to release the ball, and gee, they had a number of options at ground level once they come out, but Murphy finished off beautifully. That's where, if you get the turnover inside your 50, you're going to make the opposition pay, and Favola, he's got off Rutten a couple of times, the ball's been kicked over his head. He looks dangerous very early in this game.
Fifth goal for the season for Mark Murphy, and this is a terrific start for the home team, Carlton. 2 straight. The confidence is still up from their win last week.
Good tap, play on.
It was a good tap from Cloak. Was searching for Judd.
Thanks, Chris. Room out the back, please. Some room out the back, please.
Shirley with the job on Judd, as expected.
Play on. Third man up, 5.
Stevens for Carlton. Wrapped up by Thompson. Edwards in there first for Adelaide. Ball bounces nicely. They're still in here, Adelaide. Goodwin's very good.
That's fine.
Wobbles it forward. Paul Pleasure. Wrapped up in the tackle by Waite. Thornton to Gibbs. And the Carlton defence equal to the task once again. Simpson. Carazzo's got Stevens on further afield. Finds him. Stevens honours the lead from Russell.
Working this well. At the moment, the Blues. Good defensive pressure inside their forward 50.
Stevens is going to take it and go. It'll test him from outside 50. Wobbles it forward. A chance for Fisher on hands and knees. Desperate to try and keep control. A rush behind.
It's important that they started like this, Carlton, because they didn't finish the game off that well last week, but they were pretty good all day, and then they had the confidence from the week before against Collingwood. So a good start against a very professional team in Adelaide. That's exactly what they needed.
Bernie Vince searching for Burton. Jamison spoiled. Unfortunately went over the top for him. Burton to clean up. Oh, Brett Burton, he's a star.
Oh, he certainly is. He's one player, and he's got a big job this afternoon, young Jamison. He's got the job on Burton, but your own worst enemy when you let the ball get over the back like this. He was trying to go to the boundary, and unfortunately, there was that much space behind Brett Burton there that he just needed to get it forward, even if it went forward of the contest. Well, they had some support. There was no support behind it all, and this guy's as good as him. They don't need too many opportunities, Brett Burton.
First for the afternoon for Burton.
Boys, none of this elbowing.
15 for the season.
Yep, that's okay. I'll just
And Jamison will have his work cut out today. Back in the middle, margin back to 7 points.
And hold him up. Play on now, knock it out, knock it out.
Cloak and Griffin, McLeod swamped as he got it. Cloak searching handball forward. Murphy wanted a good bounce. Scotland got it. Gave it to Judd. He's on the burst. Ooh, just the wrong side of the post. It's what the Carlton fans enjoy.
It's just, there's another level. There's another gear when he gets near the ball, isn't there? I mean, the crowd just roars.
Twice now we've seen opponents just prepared to give it to him when he's only a yard ahead.
That's what you should do too. They're making the bloke with the speed.
They're making Adelaide look very, very slow from the clearances.
Thanks, Mark.
Now this is Bock. Been in terrific form. Career best form.
Move it on, Nathan. Play on.
But he's undecided at the minute. Short, Betts has got speed, but Griffin
Let him go now there.
now back to Bock.
Nothing on long.
He's got to go to Johncock. He's his only option. Cloak goes back. Should have the muscle. Has Johncock got the pace and skill? He has for now. Shirley, high ball, skews off the side of the boot. And Thornton, as a defender, happy to see it over the line.
That's an interesting matchup, Thornton going to Goodwin. So just a lack of height. Thornton's got the height on Goodwin, but ground level might be a problem.
Douglas is good at ground level. Gave it over to Scott Thompson. Thompson just hooks the kick. Just the behind.
Let's get down to Rowan Smith on the boundary line.
Yeah, Liam, I've just been watching Andrew McLeod since the start of the game. He's playing in a variety of positions at the moment. It's going forward, down, back, playing in the midfield just so he doesn't get tagged today.
Well, you mentioned Short. That's terrific pressure. Well done. That's terrific pressure. This is why this bloke's such a great player. He'll do it defensively as well.
How many times have we seen Burton like this? Exactly the same way you'd think he'd do it. It's 1-2 steps in the corridor.
And he gets it more often than not, doesn't he?
He does. Look at the pressure here. This is great play.
Well, you've got to have a bit more awareness than that.
Oh.
Jamison playing game number 10.
And he's been a good player for them.
He's been going okay, but he's feeling the heat at the minute. Rising over the back, trying to take the mark was Hartlett. He couldn't. Scotland at ground level. Douglas in there for Adelaide. Spills out the back, extracting it was Shirley. It goes back to Thompson. Bassett on his left boot. Beautiful kick.
That was a great kick. He just kicked to the space, made poor Pleasure lead to the space. Terrific play. One-step kick with some pressure from behind from Betts. And this bloke, sure, we mentioned him briefly in the pre-game. He's been able to take his game to another level. He's only played 30 games, like 32 games his career, but he's reasonably mature. He's 23 years of age.
Playing under duress with that shoulder injury too.
What's the mark now?
Margin is 6 points. Paul, pleasure to tie it up here at the MCG. No question about that.
Well, the thing I love about Jason Porplesia is that we know he clears the ball. I see him as, and I'm not saying a poor man's Greg Williams, but he's got beautiful hands at the contest, and then he goes forward. He marks above his head better than people give him credit for. On that time, it was on the lead, no doubt, and I just see him as a class act. He's got poise. He knows what's around him. He knows the angles very well, so he's going to become a dangerous midfielder, and he's got fitter this year to make sure that he can go in there and play there.
Almost averaging a goal a game, Porplesia. Margin level, as I mentioned. Now, Brett Thornton's gone off for Carlton and gone down the rooms. So we'll keep an eye on what's happening there on the Carlton bench. Hopefully not too serious. Back in the middle. Tough to get free. We'll have another ball up.
Crows have got Andrew McLeod in the middle of the ground too, so thinking he might have been tagged as a half-back flanker. More value pushing him on ball.
Griffin the knock. Only as far as his opponent in Cruiser. Betts just the pickpocket. And a left foot taught. Long, big leap, huge leap by the first gamer in Brown. Holding the ball Pfeiffer. Can you imagine your first possession being mark of the year, Liam?
Well, as I'd say, that's a bit ambitious. I would have thought he was coming 10 deep.
He's certainly got some adrenaline in his first game. Started on the bench, went forward and jumped over the pack. McLeod to rebound for the Crows. Knights is a ball magnet. Goodwin is target. Gibbs affects a good spoil. Bauer back to Waite. Spreads it wide. Fisher a long way from goal, but there's plenty of space here for Carlton.
We're getting back in front of Brendan Favola too.
Stevens. Favola. It's over the back. Murphy. That's Fisher, I should say. Is this goal number 100 for Fisher? It is. Not a bad one.
Terrific goal by Big Brad Fisher. And that's what happens when you've got loose players wanting to get in front of a player like Favola. Other players get under the guard. Oh, look at that leap. As I say, it would have been the mark of the year.
Stephen Brown.
Game. But see that, they all just stayed off and it allowed him to run onto the ball there, Brad Fisher. He's important to them, Brad Fisher.
Taking him 75 games to notch up the 100. Importantly, guys, the 3 times Carlton have scored, it's been headed in the Favola direction, missed him, and they've cleaned up.
But he has got off Rutten, so if they can just lower their eyes a little bit better and disposals a bit better, they'll get it to him then.
Edwards. Back to McKay. Eventually it ends up with Stevens via Thompson. Shirley wanted it. Eddie Betts in sparkling form.
Judd and Pfeiffer are loose here. Judd will be able to run to 50 here.
He's got it. Now he's decided to hit it long. Into the pocket, looking for Hartlett. And he gets the benefit of the doubt. The push in front, and Hartlett will go back and have a shot.
I'll tell you what, Nathan Bassett's saying, I hardly touch him, or if I did, he'd drop the ball anyway. Let's have a look. Hartlett here.
That's terrible.
Oh, that is tough.
That's a terrible free kick.
That is a shocker.
You're allowed to at least run at a player, sure.
No, that's right.
He didn't infringe at all.
Didn't touch him at all, did he?
Judd coming from the field.
On him. I was surprised Judd didn't take him on that. He had Pfeiffer over the top for the 1-2, but it was very good team play. Tough kick, mind you, from here.
Just the 1 goal in his short career. That's not even going to score. 3-on-1 at the goal line. Over for a behind. Carlton by 7.
Yeah, the Blues, they need to share this around in the forward line today. It's going to be a tough afternoon, I think, for Favola. Yet to touch the footy.
Spots Bock with the long kick. Over the back. Bock hasn't got the pace of Scotland.
Edwards is free.
But Bock kept going.
Should handball forward and then Shepherd. He could have run through or do it himself.
He's got to kick it now.
Does he what?
He's not a bad shot on goal. And he's got it. Great finish from Nathan Bock.
Well, you said it. He had to finish there because he had Edwards in front of him by 5 metres, and a lot of coaches, they like to see the ball handball, and then you can shepherd and control the back area of the player running with the ball. You can see Bock here run. There's Edwards just on the left of screen, and he should have handballed there, but he kept running. If you bounce the ball and you don't pass and find a target, you have to finish off by kicking the goal. So well done to Nathan Bock from halfback.
fine, Mike. Thanks, boys.
He's blowing hard, but it was a sensational finish from Bock, and it's an exciting game here at the moment. 1 point margin. Nothing in it. Back.
Knock it out, guys.
Centre bounce. Douglas underneath all of that.
Holding the ball. The arms were free. You chose to pull it in. Ball was not pinned. You just held it there.
Yeah, he's got some space here for Vola.
Right there.
Stevens heading in that direction. Got it this time. It was only a matter of time, as you said, Tony.
Well, Liam Pickering called it. He's got some space, but a beautiful kick from Stevens, just well weighted. Just had to stretch fairly a bit high, but you know, he's got getting off Rutten easily. If they get enough supply, he's working in the space beautifully at the moment. Just a player in form, you can see it, and he's confident.
Just the 3 marks last week for his 7 goals. I mean, he got off the ground. You know, he was working hard.
Well, he had to deal with players dropping off in front of him as well. So he had a terrific game to kick 7 from 7.
7
kicks.
from 7. Can he continue in that vein now? Kicked one after the siren last week, which was special. He is in form, isn't he? Never in doubt.
Said this last week. When he kicks the ball, there's a sweet sound. He is one of those beautiful kicks, and that never looked like missing. Never did. And we see in the picture there, Bernie Vince pushed back to try and get involved. He sprinted from the centre of the ground to try and block up that hole. He just didn't get there quick enough. And Favola had the first bit of space he's had all day. And so far, it's going to be one of those games for Brendan. I reckon if he gets 6 or 7 opportunities, he needs to kick straight, because that might be all he gets.
Opening goal for Favola, for him for the afternoon. Nick Stevens, beautiful supply to him. He's had 7 disposals. He's off for a spell. Judd, Murphy and Stevens rotating as the key midfielders at the minute. Shirley's in there trying to brush free. Now Vince got it from McKay, and Murphy gets the clearance. Eddie Betts.
He's playing very well, Eddie, at the moment. Little Eddie Betts.
Could be his day. Now Scotland is a left footer, and he kicks it a fair way. Just doesn't hook it back enough. Just the behind again.
Cameron, 2 metres. Cameron, 2 metres. Thank you, mate.
8 point margin of the Blues.
Adelaide have won one more clearance, but I just think they look cleaner, Carlton, when they get the ball. They're finding space in numbers and running in 2s and 3s.
Finding space at half forward, aren't they?
Yes.
Players on the lead are presenting.
Play on. Play on. Play on.
Well, he's playing on, but there's no one on the mark, so he doesn't have to move.
Play on. Play on.
They're going to work it out eventually. Or are they? They've turned it over. Scotland goes back. Fisher. Couple of players in the pocket. One of them Judd, but he spots a man in the middle.
Good option.
Just a metre. Just a metre.
Russell with a kick.
Here's our mark.
Is within range. He'll kick from just outside the 50.
That was actually a really good option, because there were a couple of loose players in the pocket, which would have been difficult position. I think Judd was one of them. And to get it back in the corridor was good vision. 3
behind so far this season. Would like to put one on the other side of the ledger, but he makes it fall. Quick kick from Adelaide to Johncock. Out in front of McLeod. Sets him a target. Beautiful pass. Didn't change stride. Trying to do likewise in front of Douglas, but Gibbs reading the ball well off half back. Just a little bit to ground. Puts Wayne under a bit of pressure. Back to Gibbs. This time spots a man in the middle. Bauer.
Yeah, Cruiser loose on the other wing.
Cruiser went wide. He may be the next target, but it'll be Russell first. Simpson.
Play on.
Short. Cloak. He goes back to Carazzo, who was involved earlier on. Carlton being patient here.
All Adelaide players now back the back side of the circle, so they're getting numbers back.
It's where Carlton have to continue being patient and just have to measure their passing. Cloak.
They're an experienced team when it comes to playing this sort of game, Adelaide. Their players know how to mark, to guard space, dangerous space.
Cloak's gone with a big heave-ho. Favola and Rutten.
Gee, I thought Brendan Favola was a bit and he's going to the umpire because I don't think Rutten even looked like he was trying to mark the ball. He just wanted to get Favola. You watch this. Don't even put his hands up for the marking contest here, Rutten. That's a shepherd off.
Here's Judd from the clearance. Chris Judd for another for Carlton. Hits the post. That's his job.
Shit.
Sound like I'm banging on about it, but at stoppages, he is just a sensational player, especially around the contest. His strength and his ability to break free with leg speed and body strength. Unbelievable player.
Never seen anything like it.
No, the best clearance player I've ever seen.
And I tell you what, all his Carlton teammates are just getting used to him now. They're blocking well for him too, like West Coast used to do.
Adelaide go forward.
Free kick.
Carazzo will take the free.
Carazzo now. Thank you.
Carlton lead by 10 points.
See, Russell's getting out, isn't he?
Yeah, he's getting
finding space.
Yep. Again, Adelaide now just playing the zone, just trying to take up spots that Carlton may run into, and the kick lets Russell down. John Cock goes down after he takes the kick. The mark, I should say.
This is where Adelaide are falling down, though, too. Like, it's in midfield. The Carlton, if they're held up, they fall down like this because Adelaide are getting behind the ball. But Adelaide haven't got a centre half forward.
Yep. They've got to switch it wide, and they've got a player on in Symes. He's worked hard to the wing. He's ignored by Plot. Rutten. Big spoil from Waite and got a bit of distance with it. They switch it well here, Carlton. Carazzo, untidy kick, but Bow can run onto it. He's going to keep going for now. Scotland. Not a lot on offer for him.
You're pushing back hard.
Yeah, nothing on offer.
Adelaide.
Going to have to cut through the middle and find someone. This is good pressure from the Crows. Hartlett to Fisher. Got a feeling Adelaide are going to end up with it shortly.
Spot on.
Now, they've got to be more patient than that, the Carlton players. I know there was a couple of youngsters involved in that stanza of play. You look up, you've got 4 Adelaide Crows players in defence. Just keep holding possession, kick short, keep possession all the time.
Vince gave it across to Bock. In turn, Symes. He's gone back through the middle. Nathan Bock again. Wanted Burton.
Did well, Scotland.
Yeah, just enough.
A lot of numbers in the corridor.
Now Waite. He can keep going. But he does. Gets around Burton. Fisher. Carazzo back to Fisher. Now Gibbs. Favola wants it long, but he can't get that far. Adelaide have numbers here. At ground level, Chris Judd. He's wrapped up. He gave it over to Eddie Betts. This is for 2 for Eddie. Yes, it is.
Eddie Betts has had a terrific first quarter. His work rate's been sensational. He's been involved in a couple of scoring opportunities. He did this well. Judd involved again. But he's working hard, so he's getting some reward. And he's dangerous, we know that. But his defensive pressure, I've been really impressed with so far in this game. A couple of terrific chases. And as I say, sometimes when you work hard enough, you get the odd lucky break. And the handball from Judd was a beauty. And the finish was great.
Eddie Betts with 2 already. He's only played 1 game against the Crows. He didn't score that day. He's making amends here, and all of a sudden, margin 16 points.
And he's playing on Graham Johncock.
Yeah,
he's cut him up.
Is a star.
Tyson Edwards from McLeod. Adelaide work it well to the outer side to Bassett. Short though. Poor kick. Cleaned up by Simpson. He's got Russell again. Well, he can't play on, he does. Russell's from 45. Wobbles it forward. It's a terrible kick, Russell. John Cock paddles it back to himself, and Adelaide on the rebound.
Well, they've got to run the ball now, Adelaide.
Vince has space. Doesn't take a bounce. And kicks it over to Burton.
He's got a new opponent, Burton.
Good one here.
Again, the kick lets them down. They've had to reshuffle their backline.
Yeah. Well, what they're doing, all their wingers, Carlton's wingers like Carrazzo and Simpson, are just pushing into that spot in front of their leading players. They're doing it really well, unselfish football.
Well, Thornton's out of it at the minute, and it's actually not hurting Carlton with the balance down back. This is Murphy on the outer side. It's an important 3 minutes for the Crows. They won't want to give up another one to Carlton.
It's a good start to the game over the box.
He's in sparkling form. He's had 7 possessions already. McLeod, the only one that's had more, has had 8 for Adelaide. This is Stevens through the middle of the ground. Long ball. Burton lurking at the back. McGregor had to stay in front. Crumbed well was Griffin, the tallest man. Over the top, Douglas trying to get free, trying to get on the left. Steps around Judd. Beautifully picked up by Burton, and the Birdman is away. He's going to run all the way onto his left.
Too far.
And kick his second. The umpire doesn't agree with you, Tony. It's a goal. Oh, hang on.
Razor's getting involved.
Is it touched?
No, it definitely hit the post, boys. I had a good view from it here, and you can still see the post bobbling now.
Thanks, Ron. Ron, at ground level, giving us a bird's eye view of a behind, and let's have another look, Tony.
I still thought he ran too far anyway, so it might be some justice here. Oh,
Good decision.
yeah.
Right there.
Just did too much. I don't know why he just didn't kick it on his right.
Yeah,
anyway.
just
He didn't work his opponent weight around, just turned him around beautifully. Got some space goal side, but should have finished, you're right.
a let off for the Blues as Waite heads in the Stevens direction.
Well done, Pete.
Short to Carrazzo.
He'll be getting a message here from the boundary line. In fact, he's getting plenty of advice from Pfeiffer and Gibbs, who are
nice kick
on the pine at the minute.
Right there, Robert. Play on
So
now.
the instructions will be to try and load up for one last crack.
Bentic got it from Murphy. They've got it to the fat side. Simpson cuts back where it just came from. And he gets it to Hartlett.
well done.
Now, Nick Stevens is trying to get around for the handball receive here.
That's that patience I was talking about, the build-up. You know, just keep possession, keep switching the play up the ground. What happens is your defenders then have to keep moving sideways. You can never settle, and you'll find space sometime after your second or third switch.
Now, his first attempt was a poor one. He's a little bit further out here. He's 53 metres out. He's given it a roost.
The other way.
He's gone the other side.
Now, where he kicked from, if teams are flooding numbers back, they'll give you that spot. They'll give you the 55 around the arc. So you've got to have players that are capable of kicking that trip. Now, there's not too many out in the ground. I mean, you've got Favola, obviously, but also maybe Nick Stevens on the run. But it's difficult to be kicking goals from 55 metres.
2-on-1 situation here for Carlton. Douglas does enough to get a boundary throw, and he'll be happy with that.
Gee, they've got to rehash their forward line. McGregor hasn't looked like touching the ball. They've got Burton and Goodwin, Adelaide. I think it might be time for McLeod to have a spell up there to give us something different.
Pfeiffer runs into trouble, and he'll get a free kick.
Too high. Got him from the front. He's got it. Camo, well done.
A little bit of love there from the former team, the Crows.
Right there.
McLeod's had it 10 times, but I wouldn't say they've been 10 Andrew McLeod possessions.
They've been, he's handballed a fair bit.
And they've been sort of coming off the back of the centre square in traffic.
Move it on. Play on.
Clock ticks down for the Blues.
Play on now.
And Adelaide again with numbers back. Scotland
Right
with it.
there. Hold it, Tyson.
Regardless of what happens in the final 14 seconds, Carlton will be very happy with this first quarter. They've been good at the start of the game. They haven't finished off as well as they should have.
Right
Waite.
there, Simon.
But the Blue Army of fans will be pretty happy with what they've seen so far. Just the one for their key forward, but Carlton at quarter time here at the MCG, leading the Adelaide Crows by 16 points.
He's the only forward that's looked dangerous at the moment.
Second quarter underway. Griffin wins the knock, but Bentic will win the clearance for Carlton. Eddie Betts arrives and gets it. And gives it back to Brown. Making his debut today. Betts for the 1-2. No. Mucking around with here Carlton, and they lose it. Johncock. Symes, the former Port Adelaide player. Chipped over the top, Goodwin. Numbers for Adelaide. Back in board, Douglas.
Dowdy.
Yep, he read it well. Doughty uses the ball well normally, and
Right.
this is no exception. Thompson will go back and have a shot.
Gee, that's still inside 50. Look where that is at the 48-metre mark. They've got no penetration to look up and go over the line. This might test him out for distance here.
It's right on his mark, isn't it?
Just out, thanks, Mark.
Last time
Thompson.
they met, he picked up 3 Brownlow votes and a very good performance. Thompson from 51. That's right to the line, as you mentioned, Tony.
Spot on, sure.
Although I thought the kick, he didn't really give it a big roost, did he?
Well, he probably thought the control, but
Yeah.
that's that problem. They've got to get the ball to the top of the square and get a contest there and get some crumb goals.
First score of the second term, Carlton, to Adelaide, and Carlton bring it back. Carazzo deep in the pocket. A bit static here, Carlton.
Play on! Play on!
Simpson underneath all that. Solid tackle from Tippett. Van Berlo can't break free. Paul Pleasure almost did well. But Carlton equal to it. Good one as he pushed in the back. Stevens laid the tackle. Umpire just letting it go. For now.
That was actually a really good decision. It would be so easy to have played this as a push in the back. He actually
he
threw
dropped at the
himself
knees.
forward. And then laid there, think he was going to get a free kick. The umpire was saying, we're not having any of that, Simon. You might have taken a bit of a dive there.
Cruiser and Griffin, 2 young ruckmen at it. McLeod Russell was over the top of him. And we'll go again.
Like to see McLeod there. He's just got that magic. They need a bit of ground level magic at the moment, Adelaide.
This time Griffin wins it in the same direction, but no one there. Russell, just a tiny fumble, but boundary throw in.
Arms up! Don't block at the front or hold.
Cruiser gets to the front spot
Play on now.
and was looking for Judd. Shirley right with him. And we're not going far. Third ball up and a boundary throw in.
I don't think they should use Chris Judd as that target deep in defence because they know they're going to go to him, so it allows you to play on him. I think in midfield, go for it.
Clever work by Griffin, but Gibbs too fast. And we have a rush behind, and I'm glad we're away from that pocket now.
Yeah, I thought we were going to play the whole second
Second
quarter.
quarter there.
Right there, Kurt.
Like Gibbs' game so far, missed last week. It was a late withdrawal, but he's back and looking polished. Measured pass from Stevens is a good one. Scotland on the burst. That's a lovely kick from Scotland.
They worked it out well then.
Yeah.
2 metres, keep coming, Nathan.
Fisher.
One man.
Hartlett his target. It's set up nicely for Bassett. He likes it there. Symes crumbing. Doughty to Bock with confidence, Adelaide.
Clever kick, actually.
It was. He pulled it, didn't he?
He was going to go long, but
Yeah.
Carlton pushed the numbers back.
Van Berlo receives from Edwards. Releases Shirley. This is promising from Adelaide, except the kick. Burton had made good space at the back, and he should have got it further.
Well, that's that lack of penetration. Again, 48-metre mark into the forward 50. They'll count as all forward 50s, but they're hard to kick goals from outside 50 every time.
Yours, Wendy.
Russell with the switch to Gibbs. And the Carlton fans enjoying Cruiser being on the ground.
Move it on now.
Good running by Little Brown.
Little Brown, yeah, his first game. And he ran hard. The former Western Australian.
Right there, Rob.
Scotland, and this is the patience that Brett Montgomery was talking about at quarter time.
Michael, keep coming.
They're going to have to get used to it for the day, aren't they, Liam, with Adelaide?
Well, it's going to be that sort of a game. You can see that now.
Play on.
The Crows, you know, look, after half-time, they run games out pretty well normally, Adelaide.
Murphy's making something from nothing here. The tap on was just something Cruiser just said, oh, well, I'll hit it forward, see what happens, and Murphy was good enough to get to it.
You've got control.
Yeah, Adelaide dare to take them on with your skill level.
Yep.
That's how they play.
Don't grab him.
A good tempo team, actually. When they need to, they can lock it up. But they are capable of kicking goals in a row.
Come on, that's you. Okay, I got it.
Coming through, Fisher, cut off by McLeod. At ground level, Thompson.
Did well, McLeod.
John Cott. Caught. Van Berlo has it, and Adelaide get a second chance. Paul Pleasure, short, onto the chest of Goodwin.
Samina, Bryce. Thank you.
No goals in this second quarter as yet. Goodwin turns around the corner. Strong mark by Burton.
Great hands.
A long way from goal. Sets it up high and sets the task for Tippett. Jamison with him. Tippett too good.
Wow. The first time they have kicked the ball to the top of the square, and Kurt Tippett just shows his ability there. Going to have too much body strength for Jamison. Have a look at this. One-handed controlled the ball. Should have been a free kick, I think, anyway, if they were paying the arm being held.
He's got an 8 centimetre advantage in height on young Jamison, and a bit of strength, a bit of size difference too. So
well, that's why you want to kick it to the top of the goal square, not at the 48-metre mark.
Burton had the confidence to just kick to it. You can win this one-on-one. Now you can finish it off and get the Crows to within 8 points, and he does just that.
You're right, Shorey. I mean, if you can get it into dangerous areas, Burton again involved. See, the Burton lead up the ground outside 50 opened up the forward line for the longer kick, but they haven't had that target across half forward to be able to use it. Really, the only forward option they've had in the whole first quarter and a bit has been Burton. That's his first touch, Kurt Tippett, and it was a terrific mark. They still haven't had a possession out of Ken McGregor, so they are really battling there. We know McLeod's now gone forward for the Crows to give a bit of spark as well.
One kick, one goal, Kurt Tippett. Adelaide drawing first blood goal-wise in this second term, and just 8 points in it. Edwards reads it best. Slipped it to Thompson, in turn Shirley. Forward, McLeod's there, so's Burton. Tackle was good by Waite, but Adelaide's still in the box seat. Goodwin wants a free, just gave it over to Douglas though, and he'll kick it. 2 in a row for Adelaide.
I love their forward setup. The 3 players. We said about McLeod, they pushed him forward right behind the first kick in here. And another kick in long to a spot where you are dangerous, probably 35 metres out. Goodwin doubles back. Burton's beating his man. He's getting to the ball before Waite. Nearly in the back, you would think, there to Goodwin, but just kept alive. Douglas, dangerous goal scorer. But I like that setup, plus a tall forward. Get it to the top of the square and get some crumbs in there.
Douglas kicked the goal, but McLeod, Goodwin, Burton, all involved up forward, all the class.
Dangerous threat,
Yep.
That's what it is.
Helps if you can win the centre clearances convincingly as they did as well, the Crows.
Margin back to 2, and Thompson's at it again. The quick kick from Knights. Strong hands, Goodwin, and he can get home from here.
Here's McLeod on the lead.
Yeah, but all of a sudden they look dangerous. There's movement in their forward line.
Tippett is his target. The spoil came, it's still alive, Adelaide. Van Berlo round the corner. Could have put Adelaide in front, but he kicks it out the bounds.
Burton is really getting off Jared Waite. They might have to have a look at the matchup there.
Well, with Thornton gone, though, I mean, they don't have a lot of options now, do they?
They haven't.
Well, Jamison could play. Jamison could have a go on him.
Well, the problem is he's giving away inches to play on Tippett.
Yeah.
Now, you know, he just works players into the ground. Brett Burton, that's the thing. His work rate then was sensational.
It was working for Carlton early, but not so now. What can they do on the rebound? Judd, Cruiser, Russell, been important. Short, Favola, got it. No. Rutten trying to clear. Pfeiffer and Stevens to Eddie Betts. Pass from Eddie Betts, misses the target. Favola got free, and, well, you wouldn't have thought Adelaide would clear it, but they do.
Now, Fev's got to chase. He's 25 metres behind this kick here and has stopped chasing.
McKay's kick just turned over. Griffin. Douglas slipped it towards Knights. Did well to get it to Bock. He's run down by Bentic holding the ball. Carlton have been sparked into some action with a couple of goals from Adelaide.
Now, he had a fair piece of this.
Yeah. Didn't control it, though. Nah.
Play on for mine. Carlton have loaded up their forward line with their stars too now. They've got Favola, Judd and Nick Stevens all inside forward 50.
Free kick to Adelaide. Undisciplined play. I think it's Bauer. Behind play, just dragged Goodwin down. He might have overplayed it. He does that a bit, Simon Goodwin.
Yeah, but he can make you pay.
Look at that, mate.
Straight to Burton.
I think you've got to make a change here. You've got to... OK, he mightn't have a matchup that really suits. Go with maybe Bauer, Jamison. Try something different, because this man's going to get him across the line if they don't stop the impact.
He's
kicked
clearly
the one.
he's clearly the most dangerous looking forward on the ground. Either side.
He's kicked 1-2. He missed a sitter. Right on 50. Adelaide are in front.
It's the class, Shorey. It's the work rate. It's the combination of Brett Burton. He's working very hard. He works laterally. And we have a look. It's against Grigg. Oh, it's as soft as butter. But I mean, they're looking
He's
for
good, Simon Goodwin, isn't he?
He is good.
The umpires are looking for something like that. But that vertical leap of Brett Burton there makes it near impossible for the defender. Not a lot Jamison can do.
Are the
He's
Lokies
kicked it from
on soon?
50. It's a good finish.
2-2 to Brett Burton. Adelaide all of a sudden in front. They lead by 4. They've kicked the last 3.
And it's all happening in the middle of the ground. They're just getting first hand on ball, but a creative handball to then run the line a little bit and kick the ball over that centre half forward area.
Cloak wins the knock.
Holding him early, Chris. Andrew McLeod's free.
Had his left arm. McLeod quickly. Goodwin. Bauer just got in his way. He gets it back though. Bouncing ball. Who's first to recover? Here's Burton again. Had to beat 2. Not that time. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
Just trying to pick up whether they've made a... Yeah, they have. They've gone with Jamison on Burton now. I think that needed to happen.
And hold him! They've both got each other. Play on.
Tip it. Off the bounce. Bauer underneath it. Goodwin can be dangerous here. Will it spill out for the Crows?
Oh, you cannot. You cannot keep holding the ball there.
Inside 50s for the quarter, 7-2. And really, they've only had one decent chance, was that kick to Favola. The rest of the time, they've been just getting inside forward 50 anyway. Adelaide for Carlton.
It's the 5th time in a row Adelaide from a ball up just hit it forward. And Burton,
He's
with good
doing it
vision.
all.
This man's playing well as well. Griffin.
Yeah, he's been important, you're right, Matty. But you're spot on, Shorey. He works your mind, Brett Burton, because he runs so hard and he's so... It's a hard game to play on Brett Burton because you're going to get tested in the air because he's terrific overhead, but with a matching work rate and an endurance capacity he's got, nightmare to match up.
7 handballs. He's had 11 hit-outs. It's been good. And he finish off. And he make it 4 in a row for Adelaide. Wrong side of the post. 5-point margin.
Gee, I thought that was coming back nicely there, Shorey.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't look as straight as Pavlich's last night. I thought that was a goal. Went till about the last metre. Kick in from Carlton, dangerous, but Brown stood his ground well. Chipping wide, Stevens.
They've lost their flow, Carlton, haven't they? They're not running the lines like they did early in that first quarter. Mainly, they're losing the contest too. All the stop plays, it's going Adelaide's way.
Judd is his target. And the ball bounces past everyone for a boundary throw-in.
What a great matchup, McLeod and Judd. Don't you love that? Hope they keep going with it. It looked like Russell's trying to go to McLeod. Swap them over if you're a good coach and you want to get excitement into a game.
Russell to McLeod and Shirley with Judd. We would like to see him just flip it around. Go head to head.
Scotland backpedaling.
Oh, that's yours.
Kick that up the chimney.
And come down beautifully for Cloak.
Now, the long option's not on because Stevens is standing in between Favola and where the ball is.
You can see in the top right-hand corner just then as we panned away, but they cannot kick the ball in. This is playing in Adelaide's hands.
And they're going the long way home here.
That's fine, no close there.
Scotland's gone back to Bauer. Now they've gone back from the half-forward flank to inside their defensive 50. Cloak marked it 100 metres further afield.
That doesn't actually make a lot of sense to work the ball back to there.
No 15, play on.
Carazzo trying to thread the needle. Can Fisher keep it in? He can. And kicks an absolute beauty, but it's touched. Oh,
Matty, you got excited.
I did. I thought it was just a gem of a goal.
Never seen so much rubbish on the ground as in over there. There's a big pie fest, isn't it, all on the ground?
That's a fantastic kick, but good work in the end to put a hand on it. But we're switching around the other side. 4 points is the margin. Grigg paddled it out to Murphy. Fumbles. Gets a free kick too high.
That was a square up, I think.
Murphy, just the little chip kick over the top. Carazzo. Now goes long for Vola, is his target. Cut back, big leap by Fev at ground level. Crummer required.
Oh, good tackle.
Simpson wrapped up. Held to him.
Yeah, good decision. See, a lot of times the umpires are jumping to that and say prior opportunity. There's no way known there. So he gets his hand in at the moment, Rutten.
That's why he's such a good defender. He just times his balls well, Ben Rutten.
Griffin lays it down to McKay. Searches for the boundary. And we'll have a ball in.
Look at the numbers at that contest, though.
Yeah.
Try getting a kick in there.
Well, that's what Adelaide want.
Oh, I totally agree, but it doesn't make any sense for the Carlton players not to spread and at least give them a little bit of room to move.
Simpson from the clearance. Up and under. Adelaide with numbers.
Here's the man.
Easy one for Stevens.
Scotty Stevens just sitting in that spot. He's going to rack up possessions, but the big problem is stopping Favola having an impact.
Well, they used him against Hawthorn as the player that stood in front of Buddy Franklin, but the problem was he just didn't read it all that well that day.
It was a poor kick from McKay, but luckily it just bounced off the shins of Cloak and they were able to hold it up. Carlton, just the one behind for the quarter. We've got just over 8 minutes remaining. Tippett in the ruck. Brown's not getting far. Shirley's good in close.
Both got it. I'll have it again. Well done, guys. You've got a handball. Let's try and knock it out.
Plenty of numbers around this footy again. I'd like a better spread from the Blues. Try and create here.
Just put one back?
Well,
couple back?
I would just go into a dangerous area. And let's see how Adelaide want to go
see if
with
they
them.
follow.
Play on!
They've got it here, though, through Simpson. He's missed his target, but Stevens was backing up.
Oh,
Rutten did well. Just went for the footy. Favola went past it. And Rutten kept going. McLeod found some space. Up the line, wants Burton, and why wouldn't you? It delivers every time.
Yeah, they've got Goodwin and Gibbs. You'd reckon Goodwin would have a bit too much strength in the air for Gibbs.
He was in two minds, Burton. In the end, he just kicked it to the middle of everyone. Carazzo back for Bauer. Handball over the top. Grigg can run onto it. Puts Brown under extreme pressure. Paul Pleasure over the top. The ball spills out. Gibbs over the top. Ball up.
I reckon you should nearly be pinged for that. Not that he had a prior opportunity, but your teammate had a prior opportunity to have a look at the vision and actually not handball it to you when you're hot like that.
So you pinged that bloke your handballs?
I would ping it for the bloke that handballed it to him then.
Penalising him.
It's penalising the team.
Cruelty to his teammate.
Cloak gets the clearance. Simpson had just peeled off the back. Good running from Scotland. Can he get past Bassett? He'll need a 1-2 from Pfeiffer.
Just not hitting the targets.
Yeah, just at the moment they're half a yard short. Simpson gets it back to Russell. Now here's Judd. He likes to hit a target. Spots Brown. Bentic's just run off the bench. Will he get it from Grigg? Yes. Is it too far for Adam Bentic?
I tell you what.
He's got a man in the middle.
Good kick too.
And got him.
I was just going to say, Fev was right next to him, I think, in the quick handball round the back and bang from outside 50.
Stephen Brown making his debut today from West Perth.
At the back, Kurt, 5.
5 disposals, and this for his first shot on goal.
Cavolo's only had the one possession. He's kicked a goal. Mind you, he only needed 7 touches last week. Put 7 on the board.
Important kick for the young man, but important for his team.
Kick.
And he does it. Well done. And he gets plenty of support.
I like that. It's terrific when you get your teammates coming over like that. A young player playing just his first game. Good square up kick. It was actually a good option by Judd as well.
Great kick.
They had some loose players over there, but it was a terrific spot up by Bentic. And a good finish by the young bloke playing, as I say, his first game, young Brown. That's
Stephen
a good
Brown.
kick.
That was like pulling teeth, that build-up, I think, for Carlton.
Just a quick glance to the scoreboard there from Brown. Yes, I've registered a goal, a bit of a relief, but importantly for Carlton, he's put them back in front.
Yeah, the momentum's been all with Adelaide in this quarter. But when you don't have a lot of entries, you want to make sure they count. That was a good finish.
Russell trying to burst through the pack. Edwards. Again. Brown. Cruiser. Releases Simpson. He's got Favola.
Can't stop that.
Great work, great persistence from the Blues midfield.
Yeah, brilliant play. Gee, I've been impressed with Jordan Russell. First round draft pick, and a lot of people say he hasn't done enough in the time that he's played the game. But gee, I've been impressed with his body work. Tough and hard underneath there. No fullback can stop that. Matter of fact, Bassett was the player loose then. He was about 20 metres to the left of that screen, trying to, and he just could not make the ground to get there.
Get a good view of this.
Second kick for Brendan Favola.
Shelling peas. No, he's missed it.
He's missed one, and he doesn't believe it either.
Didn't have the momentum through the kick, did he?
The streak is broken. 6'9" plays 6'6".
Good hit up by Simpson. He was
nice
entitled to nearly blaze away then.
And as you mentioned, Troy Russell, he's off for a spell. 7 disposals.
Scotland's been
9,
important too.
7 kicks.
He's gone.
Douglas is gone. Yep. And all of a sudden, Carlton back in the swing of things. He just spilt the mark, and it's Brown again.
Good on him.
This will test him, though. Floats it forward, and the line might have beaten him there. It has.
What do they call that, a helicopter punt?
Yep.
Careful.
I was going to say, I'm glad you were trying to put that together, that combination.
Chopper flopper.
That might be better.
Yeah. And again, Adelaide have turned it over on the way out. Big Cameron Cloak loads up. Favola's got to wait. And they crash into him.
Don't you hate that?
2 came, and everybody fell over.
And Rutten's hurt himself too. Oh, nice of Fev to help him up.
He's a new man.
What's going on with this football, the modern game?
He's a new man. But Carlton are putting Adelaide under some pressure on the way out, and they've done it again. Edwards very rarely fumbles. Betts can't get free. Paddled by Thompson. Bassett on the up, Van Berlo. Back from Doughty to John Cobb. Doughty gets it again. And they break to the outer side.
Great courage.
Stood and waited. It was Pfeiffer. And he burrows through. Carlton have lifted. The handball, though, from Bauer put Cruiser under pressure. Wait, though. He doesn't panic. To Jamison. Here's Cruiser. I think it's great for footy when the fans get involved like that.
Well, there's 3 blokes they do it for. Cruiser, Judd and Favola. That's a great kick at the left.
Murphy's released. Favola into the pocket. Poor kick from a skillful player.
Yeah, look, Cameron Cloak was 25 metres out by himself. That's just too Fev conscious there.
It's the one criticism of Mark Murphy is he doesn't hit enough targets. He gets plenty of the ball. He's just nice and tough. But I reckon he misses a few that he should. That he's better than that. Kicks like that on the run.
Edwards come over the top. Symes gets it from Thompson. Bock going back. They've maintained nice possession here, Adelaide. Stevens is free. Bassett's got to give it back to Stevens, and he can take it and go. His pass, McLeod, with a hop, skip and a jump, and he wheels around quickly, and he'll hit his target, and it'll be a good one. Now it's one out, Tippett at the goal square. He heads in that direction. Wait and Tippett at the back. He'll have to go off the ground. Oh. A couple of goalkeepers to beat, and we have it behind.
Showed a bit of agility there, did he, Kurt Tippett? Still, it makes you a dangerous side when you can kick to that spot all the time.
Wasn't a bad effort either. Final 3 minutes of the first half. Carlton have wrestled back the lead, and it's a 4-point margin at the minute. Cruiser.
Judd's free at half forward.
Carazzo. Pfeiffer. They're running themselves into trouble here, though. What will Adelaide do on the rebound? Turn it over themselves. Cruiser went in and got up and got it out. Carazzo, clever handball. Judd is still free. Murphy heads to the top of the square. Fisher. Very strong attempt. Did he have it enough? Ball up. Here's the replay.
Geez, a dangerous player.
Oh, he's very good in a contested marking situation.
No doubt.
Long arms.
And he works hard. He runs his opponent in the ground. If you want to play a tall on him, you can't run with him.
Holding each other. Play on now. Knock it out, fellas.
Numbers suit Adelaide. Bentic in there for Carlton.
They've certainly got on top in the ruck this quarter, Adelaide. Griffin has had a good quarter. Typically, when he's been in the middle, has also been pretty good. Good size advantage there. Jumping ruckman, Griffin.
He's dominating hitouts, isn't he?
Oh, he is.
With 14 already.
Use.
Cloak wins this one.
terrific.
Not a bad one to win. Fisher, high to the square. Oh, big lead. Betts trying the miraculous. Cameron Cloak, even better than Eddie Betts. Off the ground, and he is happy.
Cameron Clark can be pretty happy with that.
Shake and bake. Did you see the old fist pumping then?
Well, the ball, it's just one you've got to get that through. I don't think Neil Craig would be happy with the defence not punching that ball through 1 metre out. Eddie Betts looked like the man, but then Cameron Cloak didn't bend down. I'll just kick it straight while it's in the air. And you can see he's pretty happy with that. I thought he was going to come to the bench like modern-day football. When you kick a goal, go straight to the bench, but he's in at the centre bounce.
He doesn't kick a lot of goals. He kicked 3 against the Lions in round 5, 2007. Apart from that, he hasn't kicked a goal in a couple of years. And what a beauty from Cloak to get his team out to a 10-point margin. Douglas going nowhere. Wrapped up by Bentic. And you've got to admire how Carlton have finished off this quarter when they couldn't do anything right in the first half of it.
Kicked the last 2 in the first quarter. Look at the hitouts. Adelaide just dominating around here with their taller players, but the last 2 of the first quarter, they've hit the last 2 of the second quarter.
Russell with a spoil. Knights thought about McLeod, gets back on his left. Will he have a ping from 50? Went too far.
What happened with the umpire then? Too far?
As he said, it looked like he ran a long way, but I don't think he actually did.
I don't think Andrew McLeod would be very happy at all with that.
I've seen players run a lot further than that.
Oh, no doubt.
I reckon the McLeod give may have been on shore, but he was too close to him when he went past.
You give it to great players.
Yeah, just give it to him.
Yeah, just give it to him. Don't even ask a question.
He wouldn't really have to hand it to him, though. That's how close McLeod was to Knights.
They flirted with danger there, Carlton, but they've managed to keep hold of it. Russell will spread wide. Wait. In turn, it's Bauer. Now they'll know that they're down inside the last minute here, Carlton. They want to be careful.
Got to hit the targets.
It's all very well and good to keep possession or to try and sort of punch the clock down, but heart in the mouth stuff from the Carlton back 6. Are they out of trouble yet?
It's still not over.
Still inside their defensive 50.
Yeah, loose players on the outer wing. Carlton.
Russell to Stevens. Simpson is very wide, but
he was out there. He played the whole match out there last week.
He did, didn't he?
Melbourne.
That's exactly why you give the ball to someone who's classy like Nick Stevens who can use the ball.
Brown has enjoyed a good second term.
It's a really good finish to this quarter by Carlton. The Crows have dominated for the first 20 minutes, and they've just arrested a bit of momentum before half-time.
Spot on, Liam. The margin was 16 points at quarter time. The Blues were headed by Adelaide when they kicked 3 in a row. But at half-time here at the MCG, Carlton have got the lead back, and they lead Adelaide by 10 points. It'll be interesting to see how far Favola goes up or whether he tries to drag him back to the goal. But the action is in the middle. We're underway for the third quarter, and Griffin,
great hit out.
He has just been dominant in the ruck contest. But Carlton should break away quickly. Judd switching. Simpson to Gibbs, spreading it wide, just too much air on that ball. Symes for Adelaide in search of Burton. And Jamison slides over the line. He did it well.
Yeah, he did it real well. Lucky he slipped over.
That's the combination of the fumble and slide.
It's well rehearsed. This time Cruiser wins the knock. And Judd off the ground. Scotland and Edwards do battle. Van Berlo provides support. Gave it to Edwards. Shirley got around Murphy fairly easily. High ball. Numbers for Carlton. Yeah, Douglas did all right there. Got back in the contest, just tried to keep it forward.
Oh, well done.
Carazzo breaking away for Carlton. Heads in the Stevens direction. Front and square, Symes. Stevens, that's Scott Stevens for Adelaide. And
terrific kick.
yeah, that's good vision. Oh, he has made an absolute meal of it though, Douglas. His second effort's good. Can he find a target? Good work.
Sure, his starting point then with Jamison, it was a good kick to advantage. Douglas did everything but muck it up. But the kick was good because it was into the space for Burton to run onto. He just lost touch a little bit, Jamison. And I think it's more the work rate of Burton more than anything else.
I know Douglas missed that mark. Gee, I like to look at him though. He's an intelligent player, and he plays mostly as a small forward, and he set that up beautifully then.
Kicked the first goal for Adelaide. He has two. Burton, now he's just sliced that. That is off to the right. He'd be disappointed with that finish.
2 metres, please. Kurt.
Could have had four now, Burton.
Well, he's a dangerous forward. He's the most dangerous forward on the ground at the moment. So for the Blues to win this game, terrible kick.
He's going to get another chance. He's on hands and knees. Gibbs to fix up his error. The ball looked out. Goodwin didn't want to pay attention to it. He'll run in and kick a goal. Adelaide making the Blues pay for a poor error.
It's a lonely old world, sure, isn't it? Kicking out from full back like Bryce Gibbs did then.
But normally
Off
beautifully
one step.
skilled. I don't know. Yeah, one step, no momentum through the ball. But well done to Burton to keep it alive again. Good tackling. Even then, Bryce Gibbs should have gone over the boundary line with the tackle to take the pressure off. But, you know, all the good players get involved. McLeod, Goodwin. They've been up and going very early in this quarter. A few clearances from the centre bounce. Let's see if they can get this one, Adelaide.
.30 seconds that Bryce Gibbs will want to forget.
Oh.
Well, especially when his direct opponent ended up getting on the end of the goal.
I'll tell you what the Rutten thing's done now, though. Scott Stevens is playing across halfback on Mark Murphy. So not a great match-up there for Adelaide.
Griffin trying to do it.
He's played a significant role. He's played a significant role in the way that the Crows have been able to get back into this game in that second quarter. I know they've never out of the game.
No.
But, I mean, his dominance at the centre square is really taking control. Look at that.
Adelaide win the clearance and bounces though for Grigg going back for Carlton. Kicks it out in the Cruiser direction. Runs onto it. Balances up and pushes it forward, and the spoil came from Johncock, who's now on Brown.
Tell you what, Cruiser there, Matthew Cruiser, the way he ran off Jonathan Griffin, who I think is pretty athletic, that was like a rover out to the wing then.
I mean, the way he just balanced up as well, it's just wonderful athletic ability. And then there he is involved, just popping it down onto the chest.
I think he's going to be a centre forward. He's going to be able to play key forward later in his career.
So two very talented big men doing battle here, Griffin and Cruiser.
Yeah, they're both holding each other. Really interested.
They're dancing.
One of them gets pinged.
Doughty, in the end, got it forward. Scotland kept his balance and gave it to Carazzo. Cruiser. Dropped it. For a minute, I thought he was going to be given the benefit of the doubt, but it was holding the ball.
It looked like a praying mantis trying to get the ball to its foot.
Yeah, Burton's led here. Cruiser's going to get back.
Cruiser went back, and that's good work.
Oh, no.
It was his error.
It was good work because he was done and dusted, Jamison, then. He couldn't keep up with Burton on that long lead. He led 40 metres. So it's important that the young fella got back and helped out, which he did.
Thanks, Brett.
Jamison now for Carlton.
Play on, Jamo. Play on.
Have to go to the line.
To
Look at the numbers
Cruiser.
there. Look at the numbers.
Jamison's gone back, so whether they switch it here.
Favola a long way down the ground. He's on the centre wing.
Just a bit dangerous with the ruckman trying to do this.
He's got to really give it. He's going to keep going.
No, that's a very ordinary kick.
That's exactly. You tell the ruckman, try and give it to the on-ballers to use. Look, we know he's going to be a talent. But every time, it's a long way down to drop that ball, you know, Liam.
Oh, you're not going to get an argument from me. You might have thought on Ruckman trying to be a bit inventive. Just stick to what you can do, big fella. Bit of a first hit. A few marks around the ground.
Poor pleasure to put Adelaide back in front. He's got one. Number 2's never in doubt. And Adelaide turn the screws.
Jory, I'm going to ask you, the 2 goals that Adelaide have got in this quarter have been from mistakes.
Carlton mistakes.
Their 2 #1 draft picks. Now, you know, I don't blame young Cruiser for having taken it on. That's no problems at all. No. But that is a poor option. It doesn't matter whether you're playing junior footy or senior footy. That's a terrible option.
The problem about it, he telegraphed it. Yeah. You know, he never looked again till he went 1-2 inside the corridor. You might look backwards and maybe find something. But look, you can't take them off the ground. You just tell them it didn't work. They're going to be good players in the future.
The young stars of Carlton have given Adelaide the lead on their errors.
There's Rutten there.
Well, they're a side that they'll make you pay. The good sides make you pay. Like Melbourne last week probably didn't make Carlton pay. Adelaide will if they make errors.
Here's Edwards. John Cock. Oh, that's a clever kick around the corner to Doughty. And there's a real challenge now for the Blues to steady, settle, because Adelaide have put their tails up a bit here. Shirley going, well, it's an untidy handball to John Cock. He should have gone down the middle.
He had the corridor.
He did. Bassett pops it up.
Here's a big fella again. Good, wow.
Oh, well done.
He's making amends. He gave it to Simpson. Wants Cloak. Bassett arrives. Cloak kept it in. Good work by the big man. Simpson kept running. Nick Stevens shows it to John Cock. Gets on his left. Hits it to the square. Fisher. Oh, couldn't get it. And away go Adelaide. Knights going back. It ends up with Doughty. McGregor for his first kick. He measures it off to Thompson.
Gee, they push back in numbers, don't they? Every time the ball hits the ground, Adelaide Crows.
Richard Douglas.
Is it Douglas or not?
Oh, it might be Symes.
Symes, I think, coming off. Off in the corner of the screen just there. In the hands of the trainers. They've already got problems with Rutten. Shirley's got his problem here, but he just gave it over to Knights.
Good kick.
And nice vision, because he saw that Carazzo had given Goodwin about 3 or 4 metres, and he heads long, perhaps too long.
Burton.
Couldn't get it. Douglas searching for it. Jamison throws it on the boot, just a clear. Give himself some time. Well done by Russell. Will he get a Shepherd? He doesn't need it. He's on the burst. Fisher this time. 60 metres from Carlton's goal. And goes short. Murphy.
Cloak's pushed forward.
He was an option. In turn for Vola, not going to mark that. Cloak has to do some groundwork. Didn't get there in time. Scotland came in. Thompson.
Oh, good hands.
Yeah, clever. Adelaide will get away with it here. Goodwin. Burton again on a long lead. In, out, no. Play
Don't
over.
argue there.
No, he did well, Jamison there.
Yeah, didn't panic. Murphy. Chipping it high. 2-on-1 Adelaide. Cloak almost. Eddie Betts was good in the first quarter, quiet in the second. We'll get one in the back.
This free kick, not a bad free kick, because it allows Adelaide players to get back in the spot in front of Favola now. Griffin's gone back there. Knights is back there. But have a look at a different option than Favola here.
Yeah, they've become Favola conscious.
Yes. And that's a good kick. Just
Simpson's got it on the chest. He's a left footer. He's in that tight pocket. He's got a bit of a natural hook on his kick. He's kicked 1-3 for the season coming into the game.
He has. He's got a draw.
He's got a draw,
Franklin.
yeah.
So it's going to be a difficult one.
yeah, he's got to go middle between the point post, left point post and goal post. Normal left foot swing.
We're at ground level with Kate Simpson to put the Blues back in front.
Oh, good kick.
It's pretty good. It's never in doubt.
Well done, Shorey. You read it beautifully. Never looked like missing. And so important. Again, they've been able to just quell the run of Adelaide. And, well, the free kick was there, but the finish was just so important. They've started off the first 2 goals of this quarter, Adelaide, like they did in the second quarter. They started with the first 3. And now Carlton have hit back. And this is a good game. It's a good game of footy. It's going to be a test of nerve with some of the skill errors.
Terrific finish from Cade Simpson. Carlton back in front by 3. Adelaide have their problems with injuries. Symes going down.
Oh, he's in pain.
Just landed on that ankle and it just fell inward. Oh, you don't think you'll see him again today. It's 2 players on the bench. They might be down, so it's a big loss.
It may tell the story at the end of the day. Scotland breaking away now for Carlton. Heads to the square. Fisher at the back. Favola comes late. And we've got a boundary throw in.
Gee, in rotations in the modern game, to have 2 players on the bench you can't work with. I still think the bench should stay the same. I don't want to get it extended, but you need a bit of luck, and they haven't had it today, the Crows.
Ball up for grabs. Nathan Box spinning but going nowhere.
Well, there's players you can't afford to lose. Now, no disrespect to Brad Symes, but the big one is
Give me some room at the back here. Give me some room out here.
because of the Favola matchup and the ability then to release Bok. This guy's been good, Shorey.
Yeah, Russell.
He was almost in possession there, wasn't he?
He was involved in the last clearance.
Strong body. Very good size for a modern-day football.
And Liam, just on Jordan Russell, he's actually been moved on to Andrew McLeod after Andrew McLeod was out of control in that first quarter.
30 players around the ball.
Give me some room.
Not much space. Thompson finds a little bit.
Oh.
Adelaide through the use of hands. But there is no space, but McGregor decides to go back across the front.
Gee, they did that well.
They didn't panic, and Bok got it to Johncock.
Yours now.
Got to keep running here. Big Griffin.
Great kick.
Spotted him. Now Gibbs did really well. He's hit the ball.
I'll tell you,
That's what he's saying.
you don't have to look at the ball, but still have awareness of where. And he looked up. I thought that was a great contest there.
Ooh. Comes down, gets up again. So does the ball. Paul Pleasure, Burley Vince, over to Douglas.
He's had the fumbles today.
Yeah, but he comes back again and sprays it out of bounds on the floor.
He's such a clean ball handler normally, Richard Douglas.
Yep.
And today, for some reason, he's got the fumbles up. Whether it's in the air or on the ground, he's not a first. He's usually a first one-grade player.
Wait there, Kurt. Lee.
Short from White
Hold it there, Brad. Hold it
onto
there.
the chest of Jamison. Carlton by 3. Almost halfway through this third term.
Leave it on now. Play
Adelaide
on,
have pinched the
play
lead
on.
in the second and third quarters, but Carlton have been able to get it back. 2-on-1 for Carlton here. Scotland did well.
Very well.
He just stood over the top of the ball and
They're
wanted
out
it.
here.
Brown, Pfeiffer. Favola, his target, over the back.
Too high.
Too high on Grigg. Plays on. Needs a clean finish.
Oh,
Hooks it.
Sean Grigg didn't look comfortable at all. As soon as he turned toward goal,
It's funny you should say that. I thought exactly the same thing.
he does not look comfortable.
He's got a bit of an awkward kicking style.
Yeah, just the drop was like
There's a bit of curly
he
in it.
kicked it with his knee.
It's pretty hard to kick it when you've got both feet off the ground.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting way of placing a shot at goal.
He looked like a trotter in mid-gate, didn't he?
He did.
Carlton fans have found their voice.
What a
Beautiful
kick.
kick in from Johncock. 65-metre kick to Kurt Tippett.
Don't go on the whistle. Still wait for the call, yeah?
He heads wide. Gibbs affected the spoil, but Thompson kept his feet.
Terrible kick.
He's missed the target, but Goodwin can still run onto it. On his left, he misses. It's happening at both ends. Contagious kicking.
He felt the pressure on his left side,
Yeah.
so he couldn't go out with his natural hook. See the player there? He wasn't actually in the contest.
I think keep it low. At least you know the roll over the end-over-end roll.
Fisher's loose at half 40, but he's kicking a bit away. They've got to get it there quickly.
Brown got it to Murphy now. He gave it to Betts.
And Judd's out too.
Judd's in space.
Fisher's still there.
Stevens as well.
Stay there, Nathan.
Vola's got some space to lead here.
That's where Nick Stevens puts it. Over the back it goes again.
Play on.
Stevens, Scott Stevens.
Oh, well done.
Cleverly by Johncock. Shirley's got to be quick here. They got out of trouble well. Again, Adelaide through hands. Down, he's gone. He got a boot on it, though. It's holding the ball, but I thought just for a second he got his boot on it as he dropped it.
I'm sure he got his boot on it as he dropped it, but the umpire's on the other side, see?
Yes. But was the drop, because it drops like that before it hits your boot, the umpire says, well, it is dropping the ball.
Fair enough.
He had time, he had opportunity.
Yeah, hard to complain. And again, Jordan Russell involved.
He's been good, but this is where he's got to finish off. His first shot early in the day was terrible. This to give his side a 9-point lead.
He's kicked in the man, the mark.
Well, that's what he's got to work on.
Can you believe that? That is the cardinal sin in football, is not have a knowledge of where the mark is.
Oh.
Symes is up. Good signs for Adelaide. Will that be a crucial error from Russell? Can Adelaide go down the other end and do something? They won't be going far here. Pfeiffer stood and waited. Back through the middle. Only one Adelaide player out of 5. And somehow the kick went straight to Douglas.
Again, it was like he picked the wrong option. Like Pfeiffer looked inside. Now, he's missed a target from
The
15 metres away.
Blues, they've had 2 goals where it's been their own fault today. They've kept the Adelaide, especially in this quarter, they kept Adelaide in the game with their foot skills, or lack of.
Vince now for the Crows.
Reasonably open forward line here, Adelaide.
Gee whiz, there's the hands.
Bing, bing, bing. Reflex stuff from the Crows. Shirley gives it over to Thompson. Spots a hole. Griffin is there. Coming through Murphy. Front and square. He's going to take a bounce. Cruz is going for him. He's waiting. Murphy wants Nick Stevens. Use of the body is okay.
Well done.
Pinched it.
Oh, Favola's loose inside 50.
Eddie Betts found it. But he waits for it to bounce. Hooks it around the corner to the square. 2-on-1 Adelaide. They win that contest, Stevens.
That's 50.
It's 50.
Ray Chamberlain just wanted to get involved in the game and then get the old 50 going. But gee, Fev, I just wondered, did he try to centre or kick the goal?
I hope he was trying to centre it, sure.
Yeah.
It's moving quickly up and down the ground. Adelaide now through Douglas. Paul Pleasure. Shirley. Back to Burton. Burton kicks the goal. He gets his third. And Adelaide are back in front.
What a game. What an incredible game. Both sides have had opportunities. They've missed goals running into open goal. The turnaround and a 50-metre penalty. And just here, the tackling's good. The pressure's still good. Paul Pleasure, that poise we talked about to Shirley. It didn't hit Douglas. And, of course, that man, he's been the difference, hasn't he? From the first quarter, he's been the difference between this game. Just a bit of class to finish off. This is still wide open, anyone's game.
3 goals, 3 to Burton. That's good news. Symes. And moving freely, heads back out to his wing. Shirley was involved a couple of times in that goal, kicking it forward. Where's Burton? Gets a bad bounce. Jamison. Douglas is there. Gibbs on the up. Carazzo gave himself a bit of time.
Bad kick.
Poor kick, Benny Vince.
That's Carazzo's big problem in his game also.
He decides to go back through the corridor to Scott Thompson.
Yeah, the pressure.
24th disposal.
If you're not a great kick, pressure finds you out. Under enormous pressure. You can get away with it in games where it doesn't count.
Burton's on again here.
He may not. He may not.
Give it off.
Oh,
What's he done? He just kicks it high. Cruiser had to wait. Needs some help. Griffin, the big man, goes back. Douglas again involved. Shirley, they're trying to find someone open. And they do. Around the corner. Doughty.
Brett Burton. It looked like someone had put a straitjacket on. He didn't want a handball at all. Their hands, they do a lot of work on their hands, no doubt, at training, to keep the ball alive. And then Michael Doughty just finishes off. Gee, the speed of the game, there's going to be some tired boys at the end of this quarter. The rotation or lack of rotation could have a big impact against Adelaide here, because they've got a number of players or 2 players who won't come on. Well, Symes is back, isn't he?
Doughty gets the goal after a chain of handballs, and Adelaide all of a sudden out to a 9-point lead. Can Carlton come back again? Tippett's got some spring. The clearance from Edwards. The Crows. They've got a bit of a sniff here. McLeod, the magic man. Yes! That's brilliant! Three goals in 2 minutes.
Tony Shaw is applauding here. The centre square work again outstanding from Adelaide. The quick hands in close. You get into an area in the forward line. If you look at that, the work in there by Griffin has been outstanding. Tippett's in there as well. And look at that, the space. And McLeod, well, he doesn't need too many opportunities, does he? He's just brilliant on the left. But he had some space to work. That was brilliant.
But he meant to tap that ball in the space to utilise it himself.
He is a champion
Superstar.
player.
Neil Craig would be absolutely over the moon this last 3 or 4 minutes from the Adelaide Crows.
Really the biggest break would have been, Matty, of the game. Or close to.
They're attempting to bust the game open right here, right now. Carlton will have to respond, or it could be over by 3/4 time.
Got a handball, play on.
Paul Pleasure, through traffic, gone.
Keep it disposed. Over the ball, Briggson's kick. Right there. Play on now.
Grigg to Brown. Needs a target up forward. Fisher presents.
Play on.
The spoil came from Stevens. McLeod gave it to Tippett. They're off and running again. Edwards.
Oh, that's a lovely kick.
He spotted Van Berlo. Van Berlo for another goal for Adelaide. It just needs to straighten up, and it does. For a point. He wanted it to come left to right. It couldn't do it.
Burton was on short. Burton was off his man. I don't know, from 50 metres out, when you've got a bit of pressure on your back, maybe just keep control, but... Yeah, well, not a great kick in.
3-on-1, suiting Adelaide. Over the top of it they go. Shirley liked his
Put him under real
third
pressure.
quarter. Judd's been quiet. The dominant pickup. The afterburners are on.
Great chase.
He couldn't get free. Favola still has it though. It's a poor kick. Onto the chest to McGregor.
Tell you what, Fisher was going ballistic at Brendan Favola. I don't know what type of a kick that was, but he was 25 metres out for a short pass.
Well,
was that a centering kick again?
No, it wasn't.
Liam, you give it this time?
That was a millionaire kick, to be honest. Tried to bend it around the corner from 50. Now, we know he's a beautiful kick, but a drop punt would have been sufficed then.
Scott Thompson. Doughty looking for Burton. Almost the one-handed. Douglas knows where to be. Goodwin. Wonderful spot up. And there he is, Douglas.
He's working hard, Douglas, with a great kick by Goodwin. And the game's changing. You can feel it. Like they're starting to get on top, Shorey, in the stoppages. It's 9-3 clearance total for the quarter in favour of Adelaide. It's 4-2 out of the centre square. And their key players are all getting involved. Burton, Goodwin, McLeod, all starting to have an impact.
There's a bigger issue there. Graham Johncock's chase on Judd, that turns games. You know that your mentality's right, and just the effort was sensational. Neil Craig would bring that up at 3/4 time, no doubt.
Douglas to put the Crows 22 points up. 45 metres out. Soon as he hit it, he punches the air.
He's had a mixed bag today, Richard Douglas. He's kicked 2 goals.
He's a class act, I think. Look at this.
This is sensational. Look at Johncock put the head down. That's a want to chase somebody.
Oh, well done.
Terrific. And we'll try and get that Favola kick around the corner too, Shorey, because I'm convinced he was having a shot.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm convinced he should have kicked the drop punt. It's gone down the other end and goal.
No, you give that one. That goal should be Graham Johncock in the book there.
A burst of 4 goals for the Adelaide Crows, 6 for the quarter, and they are well in control now. Murphy, the clearance for Carlton. Favola again the target. Too strong block. Spreading it wide on the rebound. Looking for Knights.
Nothing on down the line.
They do this well, don't they?
And back to the man where it just came from.
Booed last week for the Adelaide faithful.
Yeah, but the uneducated don't know what's going on. That's exactly what that was. Neil Craig was we asked him after the game about the discipline of shutting the game down. He said it was just brilliant play by their players.
Well, they know when to do it themselves.
That's right, yep.
No 15, triangles.
I think you get a little bit less leniency when you're chipping it around with 15-metre kicks.
There's no question about that.
This might be a little bit early too. 2 minutes to go into the car in the quarter.
Look, I'm not sure whether this is a deliberate tactic here or whether that's just the way it's been forced late in the game, because they have had late goals kicked against them in both the first and second quarters. But they've got the momentum at the moment, Adelaide. I'd love to see it get it inside 50 from an
he's done. Bassett's done something. It looks like a hamstring or an Achilles tendon. Maybe his boots come off.
He's sore, but Simon Goodwin is captain, is it? From 55 metres. Will he make it 5 in a row? He won't.
It was his boot.
Sure, he went from an Achilles to a hamstring.
Well, I thought he was lame. I thought he was lame, and then you know what he did? He put his finger down and flicked on his boot, and he's got up and walked. What a miracle.
If he was a horse, it would have been the miracle worker, the veterinary, and now out comes the blacksmith.
I'm just waiting for the magic towel. The trainer nearly cut. Look, here comes the trainer. No. I just was worried about they'd have one player on the bench if he was to go down.
Well, the Blues have really got to hold on to the footy now.
90 seconds, Liam, in the quarter.
Don't want another goal.
No.
I just think they've got to kick one themselves. They've got to be clean with it. Fisher fumbles, but he's got some time to keep going. It's an open forward line. The hands over the top. Bentic needs the reflex give. It is. Nick Stevens steadies from 45. And belts it through. They needed it and they've got it.
Terrific finish by Nick Stevens. Very, very badly needed. You're spot on, Matty.
Good running.
It was great running. They got the outer side of the ground with some space. Bentic's important there, his handball. Because you want to release players that can finish, and he is as good a finisher on the run as is in the Carlton side, Judd included. I reckon when he's on the run, you can just about put the glasses down. That was a hard kick in a difficult time, and they want to make sure they don't leak another goal before three-quarter time.
6 goals for the season for Stevens in game number 6, averaging a goal a game. That's what you want from your premier midfielders.
And good news on Nathan Bassett, boys. The boot that was connected to the Achilles to the hamstring is all right.
Everything's fine with Nathan Bassett. Stevens, can Carlton pinch another one before the break? Eddie Betts. Favola, they may well do.
That was terrific play by Pfeiffer. The handball to Betts under pressure was a beauty. The kick by Betts was spot on, lace out. And now Brendan Favola needs to make it pay. Now that is a good handball under pressure.
Centre bounce clearances, they're so important, aren't they? But I still believe that Carlton have been cleaner once they have got the clearances. Adelaide can't go with them on the reverse, but Adelaide dominated the first 15 minutes of this quarter. It just doesn't look right for him to me. I don't know. I don't know. He needs something. He needs his goal.
His team needs this.
Yep.
Do they ever?
It's hooking, and it continued to. The boot hasn't been on today for Fev, and that would have been just what they wanted, going in with momentum to three-quarter time, as they've done in the first 2 quarters.
It's like he's read his horoscope this morning, and you know he wasn't going to win Lotto.
I wouldn't write him off just yet.
No, it's just, we're saying like a couple of bad decisions with his kicking. Sometimes your body language can sort of bring you down also. Gee, danger here.
They may run out of time here, the Blues. Grigg, too late, Eddie Betts. That will not count. He knows it. A second in it. And there's a bit going on here between Scotland and Bott. A bit of emotion shown by Carlton.
What a game.
They're not going to give up yet, but it was a burst of 4 quick goals by the Adelaide Crows that have given them a 16-point lead at three-quarter time. We'll be back with the final quarter with a contract ahead for the Blues, or will Adelaide win their first game on the road for season 2006?
front of him.
Griffin winning the knock. There's a whistle. And it's going to be Thompson's free kick.
She's getting a number of plenty of the ball too. 26 touch now for Thompson.
As I mentioned before, last time they met, he picked up 3 votes when he had 28. Grigg got back well. Just spilled it last minute, though.
Well, Chris Judd's only had the 10 possessions, and he's the match winner potentially for Carlton. Favola's the other match winner potentially. He has had 5 possessions.
Yeah, Chris Judd, though, I wouldn't take him off the ground in a rotation this last quarter. If he's going to have a spell, put him up to the forward line. Hard matchup.
Griffin again was looking for someone to run into the space. McLeod trying to extract it, not to be. First goal in this last quarter, so important.
It might even be Chris Judd. You play him at centre-half forward. That, you know, you can get a play, you can come through that because they struggle to get through that forward 50 arc in that third quarter.
Shirley came over the top, left his opponent, which was Judd.
Oh, that's too high against him there.
Yep.
Well, he should have been pinged for too high as well.
He knows it.
Oh, he's trying to initiate, give him a bit of a lift, but if you have a look at the fend-off was too high.
You can see why he won a Brownlow medal also. There's 2 of them, matter of fact. But he knew that he made a mistake, didn't say anything to the umpire. Other players would have made up an excuse.
Yeah, just stand the mark. We'll get on with it. Symes, who looked in big trouble when he went off in that third quarter, is back out there. Can he finish with a goal? Wasn't a great run-up. It was a bit stuttering. There was no momentum going forward. He hooked it left, and Chris Judd just letting him know.
There's a lot of medical miracles happening in this game, Matty.
It's an amazing thing, science. Let's go down to Rowan Smith.
Well, not a medical miracle, but Adam Hartlett has done a left hamstring, boys, so he's got the tracksuit on, sitting on the bench, so he's icing up.
Well, he should be able to come back on.
So Carlton have lost 2, and Adelaide have lost 1. Tippett was trying to get it back to Edwards. Carazzo, Judd, Scotland. Yeah, Judd was held after he gave the ball off. He was wrestled by Thompson.
They worked him a bit today. They worked him. Everyone that's got an opportunity to give him a hard tackle, give him a bit of pressure.
Well, that's what you've got to do at the champions. Look, Gary Ablett last night, he was mauled all night, Gary Ablett. They'll have a look at that, though, umpires. That's why you got the 3 umpires.
Fisher's his target, and there's those long arms that Liam spoke about.
He's a bit like Inspector Gadget, isn't he? He just
him up.
Move it on, Brad. Play on.
Taken in the 70s in the draft. Wait.
That's dropping the ball.
Couldn't get it to the boot. McLeod decides to take the advantage. 3-on-1 for Carlton, and Bauer does well and backs himself.
Well done.
That's a beautiful handball from Russell. He just waited till Bauer was free, and he's still going. Now he's got Favola on the lead.
Oh, that's chopping the arm.
Surely it's a free kick. Murphy. Well, Brendan's not happy.
Oh, and he shouldn't be. He doesn't want to give away a free kick here, but if we're talking about chopping the arms, that is a free kick every day.
Terrific play by Bauer across half-back. That's someone to take it on. That's what they need, the boys. They need someone to create some run.
It was good work, wasn't it? Now, out the other side, McGregor was heading for Burton, and Simpson did enough.
Still arguing behind play. Brendan Favola having a yap still to the umpire. Got to get on with it now.
I mean, it was a free kick.
Oh, no, I said that. I said it, but you've got to get on with it. You forget about it and go with it.
Symes from the contest to Thompson. He goes back to Edwards, who heads to the pocket. Bauer, good spoil. That's over the top of Burton.
That is a great spoil. You know why? Bauer's just run the length of the ground, got back there and still went with Burton. Gee, love his work ethic.
He's puffing too, don't worry about that.
Oh, gee.
Judd trying to get himself into the game and get his midfield going, but the handball was astray. Adelaide going backwards, but they've got the ball in the right man's hands. Off he goes. McLeod. Burton lurking. Ball at ground level. Carazzo for Carlton. Simpson with a bounce. Linking up with Scotland. He can keep going himself. Cloak ran into a hole. Scotland from 55. Chips over the top. Fisher and Favola go back. The big spoil came from Bock. And Adelaide can go out the other side. It's a frantic pace at the minute.
Bad kick by Scotland. Had to go all the way, or you try and pinpoint a target inside 50.
Should have hit up Favola, really.
Rebound footy from Vince. It was a poor kick, and Carazzo marks, and we'll see it come back.
There was 2 or 3 options as he was heading forward there. Favola could have been used.
He wants Cruiser. Too tall for Thompson.
It's hard to kick it over 50 metres when you've had 3 bounces and you're running away. You get fatigued.
Cruiser was looking for weight. Coming through Russell. He tackled Johncock when he didn't have it.
Well, there's a rule if you bounce the ball, you either have to pinpoint them up because everybody is on the lead, and every time you bounce it, they're out of the position. Yep. So you either find a target or you kick a goal.
Strong hands from Tyson Edwards in front of Simpson. It's just gone back and forth in this quarter, but just the 1 point for Adelaide.
Stay clear, Eddie.
Shirley's pass, not a good one. Wade arrives. Murphy. What can they do here? Carlton have turned it over again. Adelaide again on the rebound. Bock gave it to Griffin. He gets it back. Bock kept running. He's already got a goal in this game. He chips out wide, and Symes has got it. He missed one earlier this quarter.
Well, Nathan Bock is playing on Brendan Favola, and he's involved in that pass.
Yep, and Favola is 60 metres behind him. We talked about that body language, and he can lift your side. And look, it's not Brendan's fault totally, but you've got to make an effort to chase. And Bock set up this shot at goal now.
Can Symes make amends for his earlier miss? Much more fluid in his run-up. But again...
Did you think so?
Well, than his last one.
He's got an awkward kicking style, hasn't he? But he gets the ball. That's the good thing about Brad Symes. Former...
Yeah, better run-up. But yeah, there's the drop.
Horrible drop, isn't it?
Yeah. Could have put Carlton away so far this quarter. He's missed 2.
Oh.
Judd's clean bowl.
Their foot skills, Carlton. If they look back in a tape after the game, I would think their foot skills are the problem that have allowed Adelaide to kick some easy goals and also not put Adelaide under pressure.
You get the feeling from the Carlton fans in the crowd. They know that if they can get something happening, they can win this game. But they've got to be good. They've got to be clean, as you say. Adelaide are looking to deliver the knockout punch. Doughty wobbles it forward. It's alive for Adelaide. Tippett. Not for long.
Well, they're still within striking distance, aren't they?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. No doubt.
They need something to happen, and they need to happen reasonably quickly. But 3 goals, I mean, Adelaide haven't put them away yet.
Here comes Tippett arriving. Tried to kick the miraculous goal. Burton. He can do it all the time.
He has been the difference.
4 for the Birdman.
That may very well be Shorey the knockout blow.
Pretty close to it, but this man, you just cannot give him any space. He's so elastic. He's got that elastic body that you can turn around corners. Now, that is a sensational snap under pressure. And as you say, he can jump on shoulders. He's kicked 4 goals, 1 in every quarter when they've been tested. So that really helps you. And 3 of them have come from crumbs. So he's marked 1 and kicked 3 from crumbs. It just shows a difficult matchup for anybody.
Terrific individual performance by Burton this afternoon. He's now got 18 for the season. He passes Simon Goodwin at the top of the Adelaide ladder. But more importantly, his side now leads by 4 goals. Doughty missed it. Cloak didn't. Paddling it forward, Carlton. Symes gave it to Bassett. Spreads it wider to Johncock. Gets told to run, and he obeys. Johncock wider. Paul Pleasure just inside the line.
He's got the better of Eddie Betts in the second half. Eddie Betts was a dangerous forward. Johncock's done the job.
Gibbs with a good spoil. Still time for the Blues, but they're not polished going forward.
No, it's been the big difference between the 2 sides. Look at that, 7 zip clearances. after a big discrepancy in the third quarter as well. They've just got completely on top of the stoppages.
They make that 8 Knights. Forward, Bauer. Carrazzo was under pressure. Douglas spins out of trouble. Thompson couldn't handle his give. Trapped by Tippett. Poor Pleasure off one step. Bauer with the spoil. Bryce Gibbs gets the free kick. Bauer can keep it going in the right direction. Murphy. Simpson runs hard. And he wants Nick Stevens. He's ahead of Van Berlo.
So you've got to move it quick. They haven't got anybody in front of Favola now, just a one-on-one. And that's where he's going. Now they got the numbers back.
Over the back, here's a chance. Wait. Runs onto it. First to it, though, Cruiser. And Doughty in the way for Adelaide. And watch them go here. Edwards. Douglas. Thompson in support. The Crows
How good a kick's
running hard here to the advantage of Burton. Onto Shirley. Heads to the goal square. One-on-one. Jamison just put the boot up and got it out to the corner. That is inventive.
Off halfback, though, for Adelaide. Under pressure, clean hands. And that has been the difference, just the skill level between these two sides. Effort, both sides have had a go today, but that's been the difference.
This is where Adelaide are dangerous. Russell runs the gauntlet, holding the ball. It's going to cost Carlton. The idea was right.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the idea. The execution wasn't quite there. Didn't get a lot of help when he burst through.
You take them on, but you've got to have an awareness of the pressure.
Yeah. Especially when you're 30 metres out from the opposition's goal. Sometimes your best option is just to throw it on your boot, get it out of your area. As John Kennedy, great John Kennedy used to say, pass it on. Get it on if you're under real pressure.
Jordan Russell, look, again, as a youngster, you'd be sitting in the coach's box saying, OK.
Right behind Kurt Tippett for his second. To give the Crows a 30-point lead. It's not even going to score. Out on the full.
Simon, 3 metres, Kyle.
Gibbs is in trouble.
Did it well.
Yeah, equal to the task. Bentic can chip up to the corridor area. Bauer, he's trying hard in this last turn. Carrazzo over the top. Scotland. They've mucked it up.
Well, Eddie Betts was going to put a shepherd on.
This does not look good.
He's reported.
Darren Pfeiffer head high, and this will not be looked at kindly by the adjudicators. I don't know whether it was totally aggressive that, you know, he lined him up, but you've got to avoid making contact. Head down, over the ball. Nah, that's accidental in a minute, but probably a 50 and maybe a free kick.
He tried
to pull up, didn't he? Yeah.
I think there's too many issues there.
But they don't like it.
No, you've got to protect the head, but he does try to pull up.
He'd be a bit stiff if he gets weeks for that, I would think.
McKay has Vince in support. Keeps it low, drives it long into the pocket.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's good defending, though.
Terrific defending, but doesn't get much more deliberate than that, I wouldn't have thought.
Ratton looks on as we have another boundary throw-in. Or we don't. Tippett kept it alive, and Gibbs doesn't want anything of that. We'll have a rush behind, thank you very much.
They're showing that they're going to be competitive this year, Carlton, with a bit of an X factor on how good Judd and Favola are on given days. Judd pretty consistent, so is Favola for that matter when he's up and going. But Brett Ratton, I reckon, will be pretty happy with their competitiveness today.
Yep.
But also, there's some good signs about Carlton. They're playing against a team that I think will finish in the top 6, who are very well coached and very professional. And they're going to be about 4 or 5 goals short, you'd think. Unless they get a couple quick, shorty.
Bryce Gibbs.
Nathan!
You take those 2 or 3 skill errors which have cost them goals. So it's an Adelaide free kick.
Oh, that's just disappointing for Blues fans.
Now, we didn't see that behind play, but what a turnaround that is.
Van Berlo heads to the top of the square. Griffin's got a bit of space here. Ball at ground level. It's alive for Adelaide. They can't get possession just yet. And Bentic is there for Carlton. And he's away. Shares it with Scotland. And we're back to where we started.
I think Judd's on the bench. Is he on the bench? I think you've got to get him up to half forward now. Get him on the ground. Keep your class players out there to try and get you across the line. They need a spark. And talk about... He's come straight back on.
He's listening, Shuri.
No, I'm not.
Symes forces it forward for Adelaide, but again...
I'm still trying to get rid of the grey hairs. I thought when you retire from coaching, they just go black again. But no, it doesn't work. He's gone forward, though, Judd. He has gone to the half-forward line.
There's a bit of confusion between Stevens and Judd, both playing forward at the moment.
Carazzo on hands and knees. Russell, Bentic, left boot, short of Betts. Good take. Stevens on the burst. Gave it to Judd. Can the captain finish now? They need him. They've got him.
Well, Coach Tony Shaw, you worked it out. You took him off the bench. You put him on the ground. He went forward, and the key players involved again. Stevens to Judd, sensational.
Well, I think a player like Judd can play a deep forward any time, and I think you waste a bit of talent if Chris Judd comes to the bench too often. I'd rather see him maybe go 5 minutes, and it makes a hard matchup for the opposition, then take him to the bench after he might have had an impact.
It's taken a while, but it's Carlton's first score of the quarter. They stay within range. It's a 19-point margin.
It ain't over.
It ain't over. They get a couple of good clearances. They've been able to put together some centre square work. They might be a chance here, the Blues. This is what's happened all day.
Oh. The kick's just gone off the side, though, from Thompson. The leather poisoning. Murphy to Brown.
Not sure about
Danger
this.
here. Bentic
Cloak's out.
gets it back, but this is still anyone's ball. White dives on it. Great work from Bernie Vinks. And he'll get one high. He wanted the footy, and he gets the free kick.
Yeah, Blue supporters, you can yell all you want, but no doubt it was over the shoulder. They just showed you right, Matty. Desperation from a side that loves to compete and has coached that way. Well done, the Vince, the smother.
Won the showdown medal in that epic battle against Port Adelaide.
Look at the free kick count. No wonder the Carlton fans are blowing. 10-2 for the quarter.
Vince has kicked 5-3 this season. Just outside 50. Gives it a heave and sends it through.
Bernie Vince.
Hold on.
Have we got another free kick?
We have two.
We have another shot on goal for the Adelaide Crows.
Against Jared Wade, he's saying.
Yeah, boys, he just said after he kicked the goal, he punched the ball directly into the crowd, so they paid another free kick.
Oh, that's... You've got to be joking.
Well, you're not allowed to do it. It's called time wasting. In the old days, you got reported.
Carlton fans are absolutely ropeable. A second kick, a second goal. Douglas kicks it. 3 goals to him. And just when you thought Carlton were back in the contest, 2 goals for Adelaide. They want to be careful here. It could be 3.
I tell you what, those Carlton idiots behind the goal.
Here's the problem from Carazzo after the goal was kicked.
No, Jared Wade. Gee, well, you can't say you're spoiling a mark. That's one thing you can't say because it's on the fence line, Liam. You know they've got a... I'm not happy with it, but...
They've taken the ball, they've given a goal.
Yep.
They haven't even gone back to the centre. They've got a double hit because of that.
I'm not with it. I don't agree with it totally, but we know what the letter of the law is, and umpires have to pay it that way. I don't like it, but gee, it can cost you a game.
That's unbelievable.
I know, I'm with you. I'm a little bit embarrassed, matter of fact, but it is the way our game is going a lot.
No, if it's over umpiring, whether it's a right decision or not, I'm sorry, that should be back to the middle and just give him a warning maybe next time.
Well, even
Don't
back
give
to the
it
middle and
away.
have a kick.
Well, just
give a free kick at the middle.
Rebounce it. I've just got a goal. I'm not sure about that.
No, I'm not going to say anything. I'll get in trouble.
Why is that? Have an opinion, Matt.
That's your turn.
I've had my opinion. I'm not happy.
31
not
points
happy.
the margin.
Don't sit on the fence.
The Anzac weekend, we talk about the spirit of the Anzacs. What about the spirit of the game?
I'm with you.
Oh, staggering.
Adelaide are out to a 31-point lead. Shirley can't get free. Got a ball up. And this Carlton crowd are ropeable.
Well, it's a 2-goal swing. I mean, the free kick to Vince was there against Scotland. It was a beautiful goal by Vince, but, you know, that basically takes it out to 5 goals.
No, the game's gone. The game has gone. It was probably gone before that decision, but I understand. I'm not happy with it, but you know why it was paid. And it's about a little bit of the old time wasting. But
if he jumped up and belted it into the crowd with a little bit of, like, get it out of here, but all he did was put his arm up.
he won't get an argument.
I know, we're all on the same side. Let's get back to the footy. Here is the man in question, Waite, with a worm burner. But Adelaide have got numbers here. Doughty. The switch will come from McLeod. Johncock was just standing there, waiting for Adelaide to clean up.
Let's look at the other causes too. Carlton's forward line has just been non-existent since half-time. So that's been a real issue.
Griffin in front of Brown on the 50.
Locked his game today.
That's holding the ball.
That is holding the ball.
Play on, it's come out. Just in time for Griffin.
It was like a chicken laying an egg there, wasn't it? Well, the umpire nearly had to be holding the ball.
Griffin wins the knock again.
Did I see a bottle thrown on the ground too that the umpire had to move off? I
think you might be right.
Got to be better than that.
That's disgusting, if it happened.
I think you're right, Shuri.
Adelaide looking for another one here. Goodwin around the corner. Burton, almost the chest mark. Tippett, keeping it alive. And Judd fishing it out. It's still going, though. Crows are just circling like vultures around this ball. Plenty of disposals for Adelaide.
A lot of handballs from Adelaide today. We're a bit critical of them early in the match.
Just over 41,000 here. Sorry, Liam.
They have been a bit more creative with their handballs in the second half.
Thompson's wrapped up. It's still alive, though. Gee, that's not a bad kick. That's not a bad kick from Port Pleasure. And that's gone into the crowd.
Hold on.
Here comes the ironic cheers.
That was in the field of play, though.
Same man, same result.
They are passionate Carlton supporters, aren't they?
Why not? Murphy. Paddock for Stevens to run into. But he's got to beat Doughty. Bassett. Now to Bock. He's had a good game.
It's a ripping game.
Yep. Johncock. 5 minutes remaining. 32 points is the margin.
You talk about the most influential player on the ground. It's probably Brett Burton, given his 4 goals and his creativity inside the forward 50. But I've really been impressed with Bock today, especially when they lost Rutten.
Yeah, they lost Rutten.
doubt.
He's just stood up.
His job today has been outstanding and created runs still. Well, Favola's had 5 possessions, kicked 1 goal. Bock, I know he hasn't been on him all day, has had 21 disposals. Just a couple of inside 50s himself. And they're vying for the best on ground on us for mine.
I'll have to ask Matty, is the Fevolution over?
Take your time, Tony. Here's Cruiser to Simpson.
It's me.
Good.
It's not over yet.
Oh, he's getting the Bronx cheers.
Oh, they turned quick here.
Oh, they've got short memories, haven't they?
He knows it. He's having a bit of a squiz, the replay.
He's the man for the job here from outside 50, though.
Yep.
Hasn't had his kicking boot on. 1 goal, 2. Gets very close to Bock. And it's just not his day.
One in, guys.
I think you summed it up in one, Matty. It's not his day today.
Adelaide move it quickly. Douglas beautifully picked up. Paul Pleasure.
How clean is that?
He is a wonderful young player, and he heads towards the square. Griffin was the target, the spoil from Waite. Cruiser beat McKay to the ball. Bentic on the up. Carlton still trying to get something happening.
Betts is on his own out here.
He's not going to get it, or will he? Yep.
Yeah.
Give and go from him. Murphy
Good chase.
from Big Tippett. 2-on-1. And Favola came late, but getting across in front was Doughty.
Gee, they've done that brilliantly all day, haven't they? Help for each other. Well done. Calling for a head high, something.
It's been good, Doughty. He's helped out. He's done that a lot today. And he's helped out with Shirley, with Judd. He's come in and been the second man quite a few times. Eddie Betts towards Judd. He's got to beat 2. Shirley right with him, like glue. Edwards, talk about clean pickups. Been doing that for 10 years.
And he's the other player we should mention, Robert Shirley. He's kept Judd to 14 disposals, had 20 himself, and every one of Judd's disposals have been pretty much like that.
And John Cock too, because he didn't have control of Betts in the first half. He's done a great job in the second half.
Here is John Cock. He's got a runner out wide in Stevens. Now he goes back and board to Edwards, who started the whole movement at half-back. From outside 50, Tippett in the square, got it. Well done, Edwards. Started it, finished it, and Tippett will kick the goal.
Just they're running harder, got numbers, their back line's totally in control. And that's the margin of the game. That's exactly where it's been. They've been cleaner with their hands. Their foot skills have been a little bit better. Carlton have given up 3 cheap goals. I just say it again, I said it before the game, Tippett and Griffin, you've got 10-year players here.
Yep.
10-year players, and you can build a dynasty on 2 ruckmen like that.
Let's kick 1-1, make that 2-1. And the margin out to 37.
Yeah, Carlton, they don't want to let it drop out any further than this. They want to see if they can at least keep it at about a 6-goal margin. There's an old saying that says, as the games draw on, the tall blokes don't get any smaller. They stay the same height.
Yeah.
And that's basically what he did here. The jumping players, Bauer and Waite, just could not get a hit at the taller man. Look at that. Just stretched the arms out at 202 centimetres. And both were jumping. And look how much they're a foot short.
2 minutes remaining. Tippett kicked 2 on debuts, got 2 this afternoon. And Carlton had a bit of a burst and had a bit of momentum, but Adelaide have snuffed them out here.
Smashed them out of the centre.
Yeah.
Since half-time.
Shirley linking up with Thompson, who's been outstanding, 33 disposals. And Waite gets one back over Tippett. He's frustrated with it.
He's angry, isn't he?
He wants to kill someone.
He is giving a mongrel kick. It's going to come back in his direction pretty quickly. McKay, you got to go again, Jared. He got some help. Grigg came across. Bentic slides in and under. Waite again. Again, he can't find his target.
Haven't they done that well, sure? Players like Vince, we saw Doherty before, coming off their opponents, dropping off their opponents, and just dropping into the spot and putting a body in front of the leading Carlton player. First-class efforts today.
Thompson, 33 disposals. Edwards, very good, 29. And Graham Johncock, as you mentioned, Tony, started with a handful of problems from Eddie Betts and has had 25 disposals, a very high efficiency rate. Carlton still trying, though. Scotland got it from Pfeiffer. Over the top of Favola. Stevens kept going. Got a call out to the left. It was from Fisher. And he hits the post.
Just don't know why players don't kick those at goal when there's no one in the goal square along the ground, end over end. There's not many times to change direction.
No.
When you're running at speed and trying to kick it in the air, you're a chance of moving it off your boot the wrong way.
If you hit it hard enough, it doesn't move at all. That's right.
That's it there, Brendan, back a metre. Move it on. Play on.
6 straight goals. 16-15 to 10-15. He's wrapped up. Now, Favola's kicked the goal.
That'll be the advantage.
The advantage?
Oh, would you? I thought the umpire just play it on and go to the goal ump and say, what's going on?
It's not his day-to-day, all right. When you kick a goal like that, as an advantage isn't paid.
He's giving it to a Brownlow medalist, though.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But you're right. Nothing's gone right for Fez.
Hasn't gone right for Favola today.
He just
Kicked a ripper of a goal.
The other rain's coming in.
tapped Graham Johncock on the head then, Fev did. Yes.
The rain comes down, the kick goes through. It's all academic for Carlton supporters, though. 2 in the last quarter from Judd.
We play the percentages.
Listen to this explanation. You know how far 15 metres is.
I played the advantage. It was an advantage because you were both in the contest. It wasn't continuous.
I think he said I'm bewildered. Well, they were both in the contest, and Fev stayed on his feet.
Fev's closer to the footy than Judd.
I think it is an advantage, and the old Brownlow medalist just got an easy one then. You don't like this, getting beaten, then the rain comes in the last 3 seconds of the game.
Supporters won't be happy. They've had a nice day to sit there all afternoon. Now they've got to go home.
With 1 second on the clock.
Yeah. And they'll get wet. More importantly for Adelaide fans watching at home, they have won their first game on the road, improved their season to 4-2. And when the game got tough and they needed a team to step up and win it, they were the team that could do so.
Yeah, a little bit too much polish, a little bit too much class. They did it without Ben Rutten, who got injured. That man on screen was sensational, Nathan Bonk, this afternoon. And I'll tell you what, they will play a major part in the final, Shoy.
Yep.
Because of the way that they're so well coached, they're so well drilled. Everyone seems to know their role. I still think they've got some deficiencies, especially up forward, where Burton was a bit of a one-man band. But generally around the ground, I think the defence is terrific. Their work at the stoppages in the second half. We'll get those numbers up later. That was fantastic.
I think also, just when players were asked to do a role because of injury problems, they then did their job.